gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is your boy James, aka Hollywood J Black, live in the building once again. Back with another Synful Blaq reacts. And I got my main mans. Big Muffin, send us in the building. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, I have a little bit of a history lesson here for you when it comes to this band, Hollywood.
Yeah, so what he said, Big Sin told me about a band named Skyhill. And I'm just
Yep.
like, Skyhill, huh? Skyhill? Skyhill?
So,
Go ahead. Who's Skyhill?
so Skyhill is an electronic music group founded by a man that we both love, Dan Avidan, and Peter Lennox in 2007. They put out one album in 2007 and then subsequently broke up.
But why did
Dan, as we know, has gone on to a lot of success with Game Grumps, Ninja Sex Party, Starbomb, doing stuff with Twerp, doing just everything in the fucking world. Because Dan Avidan is the man. But here in the Lord's year of 2023, they came back together after 16 years and dropped a whole ass album on us called my bad. Run with the 100. No, that was the first one. Was Run with the 100. Out in the Moonlight, and this is the first music video off of that. It's called The Last Domino.
this is going to be interesting. So I wonder why they broke up. That's kind of where my big question is.
I think they said because it wasn't working at the time.
You know, so I will tell you, and Big Sin, this is I remember there was a point in time where I think this was after you had gotten married and subsequently was going through your shit for that like 2 years, right? Before we link back up again. So for those that don't know or that haven't heard my history, I used to run a record label, founded by me and my boy Marcel, Overtime Entertainment. Okay, the goal was to have Vegas independent artists have a place where they can rely on getting, put people pushing for them to get shows, put music together. We had a little studio, everything else, like a place for them to be able to freely drop music, and we were going to assist them with the marketing and stuff like that. It was a really grand idea, and actually was built off of the same strategic efforts of Strange Music, right? That's kind of how we wanted to emulate it, because Tech Nine is probably one of my biggest inspirations. And for those that do, that kind of know, like back then, we're talking about like 2000, between 2005 and 2008, around that time. As you know, the music industry kind of monopolized itself. A couple labels folded onto each other and things like that. I will tell you that running a record label and helping people create music and helping people put together ideas and watching people go through the process of making music is rough. Especially when they disagree with each other, right? And one person has one vision, the other person has another vision. And then when you come out with an album and the album doesn't sell the way that it's supposed to, the marketing doesn't do it the way it's supposed to, the label just says, go fuck yourself, things like that, right? That's kind of like, and then that happens. If you don't believe me, ask UGK. We'll read up the story about UGK. Sometimes when things don't go the way that they're supposed to, you can end up resenting each other in a way that you never thought that you could resent another person. But for those that are truly brave, and for those that are truly willing to sacrifice everything to achieve the dreams that they want to achieve, there's another level. And Dan Avidan reached that level. I'm not sure about what's the other guy's name?
Oh, well, I actually have a thing posted by Dan Avidan 10 years ago about the band.
Okay. Tell me about the band.
So, all right. It's called Memories of Skyhill. He said, thanks to whoever created this subreddit. It's very nice to know that the album meant so much to me. So much that the album that meant so much to me when I created almost 8 years ago, which would now be not fucking 17 years ago, resonates with people today. He said, I don't know how much there is to say about this band anymore. We recorded the album, played a few shows, and then his buddy Pete, who's the other founding member, decided he didn't love doing it, so he retired from the group. Since the studio version of the band was only he and I, there was no point in continuing Skyhill without him. It would have been a completely different thing anyway. He said, I was disappointed, a little burnt out, so I took a temporary break from music. After that, got into doing live comedy. That's where I met Ninja Brian, which then led me to Ninja Sex Party, which led them to meeting Aaron Hansen, which led to Game Grumps, which finally led to Skyhill getting a little bit of recognition that it could never get when they were an active band. He said, looking back, I have no regrets about the band. I think we had a little more to say. It would have been nice to make a second album, but Run with the Hunted will always be special for me. It was an important moment for me as a songwriter, and I learned a lot of harmonies and elements performing that I still use today. I'm very happy making comedy music with Ninja Sex Party and Starbomb now. I'm in a happier place emotionally than I was when I was in Skyhill. So even if I reconnected with Pete, I don't think I could make another album like RWTH without it sounding forced or dishonest. You have to make the music that's honestly inside of you and given any point in your life. And ridiculously fun comedy is where I'm at right now. I might go back to more serious music down the road, though. You never know, life is long. So that was on a Reddit for a Skyhill community that was actually confirmed to be Dan Avidan commenting on it. That post is 10 years old now. So personally, you can see he's gone through a lot of growth to get back into this with Skyhill, and I'm glad his partner of Skyhill decided to come back and do some music again.
So I will tell you that Peter Lennox actually, he ended up doing a lot of acting. I'm looking at this Peter Lennox. It looks like the same exact dude that was standing next to what you call him. He did some acting.
Dan? Oh, okay.
And then eventually looks like, they did. Yeah, Peter Lennox is apparently, he does all the instrumentals to all of the Skyhill stuff. Like, he was the instrumental genius, and Dan is the singer, obviously.
Yep, singing song, and he writes the songs.
Yeah. So at some point, it must have been one of those situations where they sat down, really kind of just slowly built this thing, because they kind of talked to each other back in 2015.
Yeah.
All right, about putting, because Peter says Skyhill's back together for real. Right, and then this was 2015, so it may have been just one of those things where they slowly put things back together again, right?
We know Dan's in like 8 bands right now.
Yeah,
so
which gives you the opportunity to not be burnt out, because if Peter Lennox is doing acting, right, which he was doing acting for majority of the pandemic, and other projects that he was working on. It gives you the opportunity for your brain to say, I can do the music that I want to do in an organic way that I want to do it, instead of feeling rushed and feeling forced, just kind of like Dan alluded to.
Yep.
So I want to see what they've come up with. I've never heard them before this, and people love the first album. The new album is dropped. Let's find out what magic these two people have created. So on that note, sir, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, without further ado, this is Skyhill, the last domino, right here on Synful Blaq Reacts. Let's go.
Then ice cracked beneath my weight. dead and gone. So now I know I should let it go, but this is not the last, not the last, not the last domino. Why must I stand by their throwing stones? But this is not the last, not the last, not the last domino.
Okay, all right. There we go with the perfect pause again. That's pretty awesome right there. So you can already tell that even Dan Avidan's voice is slightly altered. He slightly altered his voice
Yeah.
to more likely differentiate himself from a lot of other projects. You can also tell that Peter Lennox is one hell of an instrumentalist and producer.
Yes.
The vibe that we get this one, the tones, the bass lines, the drums, the piano tones, all are just this amazing hodgepodge of eargasms. And they just pop each time. Every time you hear this go along. It's almost like when I talk about Love Bites and a lot of our Love Bites videos where you can feel that bass and you start hearing that bass inside the ear, and then you start hearing the guitars, and then you start hearing the pianos, and then you start hearing the lead singer sing and stuff like that. That's what the production feels like. Dan Avidan's voice is already amazing, so I never worry about that. So I want to see.
Yeah.
So in this case, right, when I listen to them, I judge based off of what type of music is he singing and who's going to uplift him with the production. And Peter Lennox is in his fucking bag right now.
Yeah. And yeah, sometimes you have to stop doing what you love to come back to what you love.
Yeah, yeah. And even when he said that it wasn't going to work, it could have just been maybe at that time in his life. Like I said, sometimes, like you said, you just got to stop and kind of figure out what you want. Or maybe you come out with an album and you feel like this maybe isn't for me. Maybe I want to do it this way. Maybe we should do it this way. And then maybe, but once you as friends can like work things out and create beautiful music like this again. And we're talking about 16 years.
16 years.
That's amazing, bro. That is fucking amazing.
And like I said, Dan Avidan is doing things in music that will drive people crazy how much shit he is into.
Yeah. Well, remember music, the one thing about music, right, you have to constantly be working in order to get your money, right? And so
that's Game Grumps is not music. So he has that, then all the music.
Yeah. And then you look at it like that though. A lot of stuff from Game Grumps inspired the Starbomb stuff.
Starbomb, yeah.
Yeah. So even when you're not doing music, you're doing music. Music is in your soul. It's not a visual. It's in here and in here, let's get right to it. This is great. I'm loving this.
Life can't be like it was before. Past hopes melting through the floor. There's no coming back from this. Don't hesitate or reminisce. Just walk through the one remaining door. So now I know I should let it go, but this is
taking a look at the lyrics, right? Because I heard the lyrics. If you look at the lyrics, you can really take it a lot of different ways, right? Because here's the chorus goes. So now I know I should let it go, but this is not the last domino. Why must I stand by? They're throwing stones, but this is not the last domino. And it's coming. If you take it from a relationship perspective, right? Like, let's say if you apply this to a relationship, you can talk about not wanting to let go of this person, right? Yeah. And but you can also apply the same thing to a friendship or a partnership. Mm-hmm. Like, why should we shouldn't end this partnership? Just because somebody's saying shit doesn't make this the last domino that falls. It shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? We can do better. So in and of itself is a deeper song. You can apply it in so many different ways. Almost it could be like a metaphor for what they've gone through in their friendship creating this song. They're creating this project, Because once they came out with the first album, when they felt like they couldn't do it, but we don't know, we don't have a thing that says why he didn't feel like they couldn't do this. So there's the why that we're missing. But when you hear a song like this, and sometimes art imitates life, you can only say that maybe somebody felt that they shouldn't be doing this, and Dan was like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Don't let them throw stones and destroy something that we're obviously becoming successful at.
Something that we're trying to build here.
Yeah. So it's a song that you can apply in so many different ways, and that so many people, if they get a hold of it and get an understanding of what it means, that they can apply it to their own situation. So I think it's pretty fun. So, your thoughts on it, sir?
No, it's a beautiful song. I mean, I have the album. It is a beautiful song. It's a beautiful album altogether. But yeah, no, I see what you're getting. It's a very true to life type of song, especially after reading what I did with the history of this band.
Yep.
No, it's one of those. It's very cool to know that they were able 16 years later to come back together and fulfill a dream that they thought they had lost a long time ago.
Yeah. How many people do you think that have been able to... I know friendships that have been dead over less, that are still dead over less.
Facts.
So, for them to come back and do this and create some magic together, shout out to them, man, because that's not an easy thing to do. That's nothing but love right there.
And so you want to, with Dan Avidan, currently, he's a member of Skyhill, Ninja Sex Party, Starbomb, Shadow Academy, and the lead singer of Dan Avidan and the Super Guitar Bros. Yeah. He also does work with Twerp. He does work with Steel Panther and all that shit.
Yes, yeah.
He is a busy human being.
Yes, yes. So listen, shout out to Dan Avidan for having the mind that he has, and his love for music knows no bounds. I hope that he creates more. I hope that I hope that others find the same happiness in music that he does. Because obviously, if he hated it, he still wouldn't be doing it, right? So
yeah, not doing as much as he does.
Yeah, but he's balls deep now, balls deep in music. So much love, Dan. We'd love to meet you one day. Hope you make your way down to Vegas or Orlando. We would love to hang out with you and just chat. That would be one of the most amazing things. I like to pick brains of people who are creative types. So.
And also, a lot of people may not know this at this point, but they were one of the first music artists to reach out to us and tell us that they like what we do here.
Yes, they were the first. Actually, oddly enough, they were the first. When shit got bleak, I'm like, okay, well, who's really watching what we doing? You know what I'm saying? And then they were the first ones to kind of like, yo.
It was them and Lex the Hexmaster. It was like in a 2-day period.
Yep. Oh man, good fucking times, man. Good fucking times. All right, sir. You know what time it is.
And now I'm over here being complimented by Mercules. What's up?
God damn it!
I woke up. I woke up to that shit like, what? You didn't like the reaction, so you just gonna compliment me? What's?
Hate your fucking reactions. Love the fact you lose the weight, you son of a bitch. No.
Right?
All right.
No. We do this for a very specific reason, and that reason is unknown to us, but we have fun doing it.
We're finding ways to unite people that normally aren't united. Okay, I don't know.
Unite people through reactions, controversy, and music.
There's some sort of prophecy in there that needs to be fulfilled. We just haven't found it yet. There's probably some book somewhere that says.
It's also a bunch of tomfoolery and fuckery that goes on in our brain, so that's another reason why we do this shit.
That's probably the main reason, actually. But anyway.
Yeah, that's number one reason why Synful Blaq does what they do is to fuck with people. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes!
But no. So please, if you enjoy our content here on the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Support the artists that we check out, because we don't check out a whole lot of mainstream bullshit. Yeah. We check out what we want to check out. We support the indies. We want to be the home where independent music can be heard by different people, different genres. But my name is Big Sin. Please like, comment, and subscribe. He is Hollywood J Black, and we are Synful Blaq, baby.
That's right. Until next time, we are out this day.
Deuces.